Look who's back.
Yes.
Well,
Le Julien contre-attaque.
hopefully we can do this pretty fast because my son is sleeping.
Yes, I've just seen your son for the first time.
Isn't he cute?
He's cuter than his father, but that wasn't the hard
No,
deal.
that's not really hard to pull
No.
off.
He's fantastic.
Okay. So-
Housty boy.
You get some stuff?
Yes, so as you guys remember, I don't know when was the last time I was here, at least 2 or 3 months ago.
Something like
March, April, March. Anyway, your son wasn't born back then. So I said I wouldn't buy anything in 2018. I'm still almost keeping that promise. I mean, it's just only the bare necessities that I didn't buy.
The bare
Yeah, the bare. But I still have some stuff from 2017 to show you.
So lame. So last year.
No, the funny thing is that last time I said this is the final 2017 batch, but then I forgot that I ordered some stuff from the legendary Kevin Kobos from Japan, which
and it
takes at
takes a
least,
while.
it's the slow boat shipping, so it takes, I think he
From
shipped
Japan.
he shipped it in November or in October, and it just arrived in March. But then of course you get the cheapest shipping. So if any of you guys want to buy some Japanese stuff for an affordable price, check out Kevin Kobos' store, The Good Squid. So what did I buy last year? A few laser discs, of course. All in excellent laser discs, all in excellent condition.
I also still have a lot of laser discs in answer.
So this is Richie Rich, the Japanese version. This is one of my favorite childhood movies. I have of course I have the VHS, I have the DVD, I have the American laser disc. This is the Japanese one. It includes a trailer as an extra, which, it's unique to the Japanese version. And it's also a very unique cover art. This is a cover art that's
nice.
Yeah, this is the cover art that's been used all around Europe and America. But this is the Japanese cover art. As you can see, it's really in super minty condition.
It looks brand new.
Yeah, even the obi is not a single wrinkle.
Typical Japanese.
Yeah, but even then, sometimes the obi has a few wrinkles.
Yeah.
But this is just as if it's never been used. So the original price was 4,700 yen.
I'm checking if it's in English.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, I checked it. Yeah, I would never buy. I think there's also a dubbed version, as in just Japanese. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they release laser discs with just the Japanese the language track. For example, I'm always on the lookout. There's a special hook. There's a special hook with just Japanese hook text or voices. I think there might be a chance that this has both tracks.
I think so, because here it says Nihongo Japanese.
So
this is Eigo English.
So probably you can switch with your audio button.
I don't have a remote.
Well, that's the funny thing. I have 2 normal players without a remote.
Yeah.
So I could never switch tracks either, but then with my super fancy expensive HLD X9 I can finally switch tracks, which is nice because, for example, I bought last year or 2 years ago I showed you I bought the Casper with the DTS, my first and only DTS laser.
And you also have to push them.
Yes, because if you don't push the button, DTS, it's default DTS, and if you don't have the decoder it'll be like just one loud noise. But luckily with the new player I can switch to
It's also lucky that with the Japanese one it's default always English.
Yeah, indeed.
Lucky.
Yeah. And so far I have 1 disc that's only in Japanese, which is A Bug's Life. Which is weird because normally all Disney movies in Japan were also at least 2 languages, 2 language tracks. But for one reason or the other, A Bug's Life is Japanese only. And I knew that beforehand, but it's one of the last releases, so I wanted it. It's the last Pixar, it's one of the, I think, penultimate Disney ones. But I just wanted it as a Disney fan, of course, and because it was a very good deal. It was just €10, and normally A Bug's Life goes for at least 40 because it's one of the later releases, one of the last releases. So this one was also 10. Most Kevin Kobos discs are 10. Great price. And then I bought a very funny one. You should check it out if you have a little more time with Hughes. This is
Lost.
So allow me to read it. It says high quality computer graphics special, The Lost Animals. Shogakukan Enkom Miko. It's really just like it's like a disc full of dinosaur trivia, but really like damn, I can't find the word. Thomas, help me out. The word I'm looking for is not amateur but professional. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. It's scientific.
Scientific.
So it's a scientific approach. It's
3D.
Yeah, so it's early 1995 graphics, but it still looks quite good. It's cheesy, but it's okay.
You already watched it.
Yeah, and as you can see, it includes at least 50 species of dinosaurs,
Nice.
from Dilophosaurus to Mosasaurus. And yeah, so it includes a few. You could compare it to, for example, if you visit the museum in Brussels, you would always see some educational clips.
Yeah,
It's like this. It's like this. So,
like they haven't updated the clips in like 10 years.
Indeed. And in the same series, you have, for example, you have a Formula One program. There's maybe you can read it.
I remember reading a guy on a message board where this is actually just a race.
Mm-hmm. It's called It's Real.
From the perspective of the driver.
Oh, cool.
A complete Formula One race from the perspective of the
If I
driver.
can zoom in, we're talking about this release, this one.
It's crazy that they would make such.
Yeah. Can you read this? There's also something else.
No, sorry.
Or maybe this one. Is it something you can read?
This
It
is
says,
Ants.
Hills of the Seasons.
Yeah.
So it's about poppies and flowers. Yeah, it's really an educational series.
Yeah.
Just €10. I love it because I like dinosaurs. And then the final one from Kevin Kobus. I mean, at least in this batch, because I always buy. You have to buy 3 for the slower, cheap boat shipping. It's the Faith George Michael disc, which includes all the clips from his multi-million selling album Faith. Which is
From 1996 or
7. Yeah,
7.
I think the compilation will probably a year later when all the clips were released. So I Want Your Sex, the uncensored version. Faith, Father Figure, One More Try, and Monkey, 5 hits, and then interspersed are always short video interviews. So it's a nice program. Of course, this was also very expensive back in the day for just 35 minutes. This costs almost €35 for just 30, so it's almost like €10 per minute. No, a euro per minute. And it's actually a CD video, that's funny. So it's not a laserdisc, it's a CD video. As you remember, guys, the format, the short-lived format in the early 90s.
But it's the same format.
Yeah, it's
just a
compatible.
different labeling.
Well, it is really a different format, but it's just the same
It's
codec.
exactly the same technology.
Yeah, but it's not called a laserdisc.
Yeah,
This is the thing that Philips released in the early 90s on a gold disc. And as you know, laserdiscs are always silver. So this is the gold variant.
But it's just a branding by Philips. Eh?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
Just like Laserdisc was a branding by Pioneer, and in the beginning it was like Laser Vision and also Disco Vision.
Disco Vision, yeah, that's the best name.
I don't have a Disco Vision yet, but they're allegedly very, very horrible. Like they're almost rotted and
yeah, but they're also
old,
very old.
40 years old. Yeah, exactly. This year, Disco Vision was introduced in '78. So
amazing.
And then final piece of trivia: the first Disco Vision ever, and the first Laserdisc ever is Jaws. So of course, as a Spielberg fan, I really want to buy it someday.
You can find it still.
I've never seen with my own eyes a Disco Vision. It's very American only. It was also
it was never released in Europe.
no, and it was also in a few select test markets that they marketed it. It was a thing that Leonard Nimoy introduced with the starting rock. Look it up if you haven't seen it. Thomas will post a link. If any of your watchers, any of your American Thomas fans, if you ever find an affordable Disco Vision Jaws for me, please give me a call. Do you have something? A call.
Should I put your telephone number in
text or a message? Have you found anything, Thomas?
Yes, even though
I'm
I
going to take
had
a sip
little...
of this excellent. Please sponsor us. It's a very excellent Coston Pressy.
I had little time to go out to the thrift stores, but yet I managed to find some stuff.
Sorry, I have to quote Homer Simpson. This reminds me of Homer Simpson. When he became a father, he said, it wasn't easy juggling a pregnant wife and a 2-year-old son, but somehow I still managed to squeeze in 8 hours of television a day.
Well, I never watch as much television I have right now, because when you're waggling your son, it's about the only thing you can do. So, for €3, the 18 board game.
I'm a big fan of the 18.
Yeah, me too. And I think...
Hashtag me too.
Me too. And it includes a color picture of B.A. Baracus.
No, just of BA.
And I thought, well, it will be a cool poster I can hang up, but it's actually just the bottom of the box.
It's so cheap. But it's a cool photo, though.
It's a cool photo.
The mohawk is a little short, so it's like a pre-fame photo.
No, he just went with the barber, probably. on that same day, I found a John Goodman doll from the movie The Flintstones.
It's really a good likeness for the 90s.
Yeah.
It's really a good likeness. I have all
almost
these
like
figures.
a bobblehead quality.
Yeah. I don't know how they did because this is nowadays they just scan the actor and they and even then there's like crappy figures released nowadays, Star Wars and etc.
Sure. They're worse than they were in the 90s.
I have all these Flintstones figures, by the way. I'm a big fan of the movie, and I bought them all the figures back then. So
I haven't seen, not complete. I've seen.
You really should see it. It's
small parts.
Of course, it's not a good movie through adult eyes, but for me or to me, nostalgia-wise, it's. I love it. I will never hate the Flintstones movie.
In the same store today, I passed it with my bike after work. I found this Sonic the Hedgehog for the Game Gear. It's loose. I already have it, but this one is in excellent condition.
Yeah, it's a massively excellent game as well.
Yeah, sure.
It's the first Game Gear game I ever completed.
It was just 30 cents also.
I would have bought it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
I don't have it yet. So maybe I can
see.
buy your shitty
my
game. But I don't have a working Game Gear, so I can't even use it.
And these were bought already, I think at the beginning of May, but I forgot to show them.
It says 28th of
28th of April is the day
store
they put it out, but I think I bought
few days later.
the 2nd of May or something. They never have good records in this store, but today, at that day, I found From Here to Eternity, Giorgio Moroder, which is like the guy who claims to invent house music.
This is just an excellent moustache. Look at the moustache.
Yeah, and the backside is even better.
What a moustache.
It's a record from 1977. Most people will probably think it's too disco. Not enough house, too disco, but it's an excellent record. And the other one is Julie Cruz, Floating Into the Night, the music from Twin Peaks and Blue Velvet, David Lynch's first big movie, I think. Excellent album, really nice to chill out to.
Oh wait, first big movie? I think Dune was earlier.
Yeah, but that's a TV series.
No, Dune. The movie. Yeah.
It's a...
84. I think Blue Velvet was 87?
87. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. First successful
Maybe.
movie.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So yeah, shall I continue?
Sure. It's your channel. It's your video.
And last week, no, this week.
I don't know.
Posted it Monday.
This
or
is a
something.
Thursday.
Thursday. I'm really tired. I went to the thrift store really close
like
to my.
I'm retired.
I'm retired.
No. I'm retired. As in, I don't have a job anymore.
I went to a thrift store close to my work, and they had some Xbox 360 games. They had a lot of titles, but I picked out some interesting looking ones. Grey Matter. It's like a horror adventure game. These were all $3.50 a piece. $3.50.
Yeah, I remember this one. I had it in my Amazon wish list.
Yeah. I have it now. It's quite expensive, that one. It's like €30.
Yeah, I remember. But it's a good game, apparently. Ninja
Blade from Software. It kind of looks like a Ninja Gaiden ripoff, but looks cool.
From Software.
from Software. And Of Orcs and Men.
That's a good pun on mice and men. Huh?
It's an RPG with orcs and I presume men also.
It's a really cool cover art.
Yeah, that's why.
The guy is like jamming to a tune.
And then I saw in the toy section on the ground, like with the
big... on the ground.
Yeah, with the... in between the big outdoor toys, like the tennis rackets and everything, I saw a bag starring the Technodrome for only €8.
That's a steal.
Steal?
So you stole it?
I stole it. I didn't pay it. It's not complete, of course, but it has a lot of the inside parts. Sadly, a lot of the outside parts are, of course, missing. The eye thing. Here's a door trap missing. Here's a door trap missing. But it's still cool to put on the shelves and...
The shelf of interesting items.
The shelf of... But it's really dirty. Julian, can you clean this for me?
Yes, because I'm your slave.
Oh my god. You broke my 30-year-old Technodrome. And once again I had to go to Liège for work. And
you should take me sometime.
Yeah. I'll put you in the back of my car. You can wait outside.
No. I mean, you should just Tell me I'm going to Liège, and then I can.
Yeah, but it's always for work. I'm working there the whole day.
Yeah, but I can just do something else, and then at the end of the day we can go to the
Steal
thrift
all
store.
the good games.
Yes, because that's what I do.
I don't. Do they have thrift stores there in Wallonia? Because they have like shops, but not like the.
I'm pretty sure
the donation stores.
I'm pretty sure they have Oxfam as well. Why not? I mean,
what's the French word for thrift store? That's something we need to find out.
It's not pêle-mêle.
I don't know. No.
Le thrift store.
Le thrift store. So I visited this Chinese.
I heard your son. Shh. I heard your son.
Ah, still okay. I visited this Chinese game store. It was really weird.
A Chinese game store.
Yeah, I mean there was a Chinese guy behind the counter and he was playing Chinese music, and there was nobody else in the store, and also the lights were out when I came in.
So it was like.
And he said like, "What do you want?" And I said,
"I'm
just looking for games." Oh, let me turn on the lights. So, okay, this place is on a budget apparently. They didn't have a lot of retro. But I still managed to snag one Mega Drive game. They had 3 Mega Drive games: FIFA 95, and Sensible Soccer.
What was the first FIFA? Just FIFA?
FIFA, yeah. The first FIFA. The first FIFA is just called. I think FIFA is 93 actually, and then you have 94.
So, and you have both FIFA and FIFA 95?
No, but I'm not gonna pay €5 for FIFA. I think.
And how much was this one?
Also €5.
And why is this one worth 5?
This is quite. Online it's like a €20 game. It's
Okay.
like the legendary soccer game on all platforms.
Oh, and is it a good game?
Apparently, I never played it.
It's from Sony.
It's from Sensible Software.
So does it feature like real teams? Or?
No, because they didn't have the license. And I also found this
no manual, Thomas.
uncommon PS2 game, Street Boys with a Z. It's like a side-scrolling beat-em up by Tamsoft. They're famous for their Japanese budget games from the early 2000s. Like it was a series in Japan called 2000 Euros because the games only cost 2,000 yen.
Okay.
Brand new. So they're all
€20.
yeah, budget games that are not that great. But sometimes they're interesting, so I tend to pick them up if I find them. So that was a €10 well spent. Do you have something else to show us, Julian?
Yes. So also from 2017, there was a few months ago, of course, 2017.
6 months ago, to be exact.
Yeah, more than that. I don't know, sometime in maybe already a year ago, I don't know, June or July. I got a call. I was drawing, as I tend to do on some sort of Comic-Con. I got a call from a friend of mine saying, "Hey Julian, I'm on a not the thrift store, but flea market. I always tend to forget the word. I'm on a flea market, and there are some laser discs here. PAL, no NTSC. Do you want some?" And I say, "Yeah, sure. How much are they?" And he says, "I think they're 5." I say, "That's an acceptable price. What titles are there?" So he named a few titles and I said, "Okay, I want these 2." And then I think I only got them in I think he gave them to Peter, which is a common friend of ours. And then Peter lost them somewhere in his house. Yeah, his big house, and he just misplaced them. So in the end, these June or July 2017 discs only found their way to me in April of 2018.
Okay.
So that's why I can show them now.
It's cool that even though you buy nothing, you still get handed stuff. I have that one too.
Yeah, so this is the very weird Hollywood collection of. So these are the Columbia movies on a PAL, a Belgian or a Dutch.
Mine has like a scratch, and it keeps hanging at the same spot. Like
Let's check out if mine is in good condition. Ooh, this is.
Oh man, it's like somebody pukes inside the sleeve.
The disc seems to be
in
okay condition.
It's perfect. I love the gold discs. Mine has a scratch. It's not rotted. It just has a scratch.
Look, the funny thing is about this one. Look how super crisp the screenshots are.
Yeah.
This is no way that a laserdisc can reproduce these kind of images. Look at these. Super crisp.
It just stills from.
It's like Blu-ray stills, or 35mm. The corner is a little dented. But other than that,
that tends to happen.
Yeah, that's a Julian bisque.
Yeah.
And then the second one, also from the Hollywood collection, is one of my favorite movies, Ghostbusters, with a funny subtitle, The Supernatural Super Spectacle. It's funny because in Dutch, supernatural is another word, but in English it'll be both times super. The weird thing about this is that so
yeah, I see.
What?
There's an actor missing.
Yeah, but that's always the case. It's very racist of Hollywood. No, don't you remember? I interviewed Ernie Hudson once, the actor, the black one.
Yeah, it's the black one.
And I even asked him. I said, "Why are you never featured on the posters of the first movie?" And it was like he actually was surprised that I dared to ask this, because in America they would never ask a question like that. But he said like, yeah, it's kind of sensitive. I mean, I wasn't a big name back then. I was a newcomer. I wasn't like a big draw. I wasn't a big marquee star. Yeah. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, they were the big names. Still, I mean, he's one of the 4 Ghostbusters. I agree he only shows up in the half of the movie, but still, he's one of the 4 Ghostbusters. Luckily, in the second movie, he's on all the posters. But look, it's even worse. So it says Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver. I can see that, but even Harold Ramis is just in tiny letters in white. And then Rick Moranis, and there's not even one mention of Ernie Hudson.
No, that's...
Ernie Hudson is a Ghostbuster, and Rick Moranis is... And Sigourney... Racism.
Yes. But Sigourney Weaver was a big name back then.
I know, but still, look, he's not even on any of them. This is really horrible. He's not on one of his back is in one photo. Look at this, guys. This is horrible. There's 6 photos, and Ernie Hudson is with his back to the screen on one of the 6 photos. That's just horrible. I love Ernie Hudson in this movie. What does Janine ask? Are you ready to believe all of this? And he says like, lady, when there's a paycheck involved, I'll believe anything you say. These were 5, but then in the end, that's funny, because it took so long, the guy just said, nah, forget it, it's a gift. So, free lasers. Forget about it. Do you have something else? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So, Anne and me, and Hughes, of course, my son, we went to a flea market, because we had to go to Anne's parents for dinner, and it was on the way. I said,
had to go.
Let's stop there. It was a lame flea market, sadly, not like the great one we had here a couple of weeks ago, but I still found 2 games that I wanted.
Even if the flea market is lame, Thomas will find something.
He wanted 2 for this and 5 for this, and I haggled to 6, so 3 apiece. Emmeline, who I think also watches the channel, recommended this game.
Emmeline, if you don't watch the channel, watch the channel.
Yeah, god damn it. Apparently this is a really good game, Ghost Hunter. It's a pun, it's not really a pun, but it's like a Ghostbuster type of game. Mm-hmm. You're hunting for ghosts, but it's a bit more cool with attitude. But apparently it's a really good one. This is not really a good game, apparently. Murdered Sole Suspects. It's a game in which you are murdered and you have to solve your own murder.
That does sound like an intriguing.
Yeah, I think so too, but apparently it's not that great. It's kind of short and easy, which might not be bad for me, but...
Yeah, now you get me. I want to play this.
You can loan it. And I forgot all about this stack of Intellivision games I bought online. They're really smelly, like cigarette smoke smelly. But it's really hard to find Intellivision games in Belgium. And shipping included, it was 30 euros, so 5 a pop. Not too bad. This one is one I was looking forward to. Lock and Chase, a Pac-Man clone.
You've been looking for it for the longest time.
Yeah, since 81. And it includes the cool overlays from the joystick, which hardly ever happens. The game is also there, that's nice. This one is basketball. No manual, no overlays. This one is a classic. It's like the Space Invader game from the Intellivision. Ooh, with one overlay. Astro Smash. And this is like the Star Wars ripoff. Like the trench run in the first A New Hope.
It does look good. On the
it looks good. And apparently it's also, back in the day, it was a famous game to play I know. I mean, just like if you wanted to play Star Wars Run, you had to buy this. It was the best way to play.
It's funny. It says for color TV viewing only, so it didn't work on a black and white TV.
Yeah, it will work, but it will be bad. I mean, the game won't be fun to play.
It's so funny that I should mention that for color TV only. It's like if you pop it in a black and white TV, it explodes.
It explodes. Space Armada. Oh no, this is the Space Invader clone. And Soccer, which I think I already have. So.
I will take that.
Yeah, you can take the smelly version. Oh, I need those. Soccer!
So on the box it says Soccer, but then on the cartridge it says NASL Soccer. So
dun, dun, dun.
They don't even know their own name.
What is NASL? Is that like the American...
National Association of Soccer League? Something like that?
Something like that. And it's made in Hong Kong. So these are probably...
I love these box art. I love this box art. It's so cheesy and 70s.
It's strange that the cartridges are made in Hong Kong.
But even this one is made in Hong Kong. Anyway.
It's a cool console in television. Have you ever played it?
No.
It's like, it's not really famous. Nobody ever collects for it.
I know it from the nerd, of course.
Yeah, of course.
B-17 bomber.
Yeah, you have the voice module and everything like that. And it was... Mattel supported it until like 1987 or something. Really long after. I mean, the NES was out, the Master System.
Did they still release games for it?
Yeah, but not a lot, of course. But still, they got games released until.
Did they release some Barbie games?
I don't know for sure, but I do know.
I would assume Mattel.
Yeah, but they did release the Masters of the Universe game.
Cool.
Which is just a spaceship shooter that has nothing to do with Masters of the Universe. But the box art is really nice.
Really?
It's like a Defender clone. Like
Not even anything in the game resembles Masters of the Universe? Nothing?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I
Some
don't know.
sprites? I don't know.
I will add a video
screen?
here. The title screen probably will be the logo and He-Man and Skeletor. But
Is that all you had, or you still...
that's all I
Okay,
have.
so I will continue. Then I bought one final latest in 2017, which also arrived in 2018 from tweedehands.de, the Belgian eBay, let's say.
Or the Belgian Craigslist.
Yeah, so it's just tweedehands is Dutch for
Secondhand.
secondhand.be, so it's really like very straightforward.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a very nice Disney one. It's in very mint condition. I'll take it out of the...
it's still sealed?
No, it looks to be sealed.
Right.
But it's just the guy opened it like this, so maybe I should open it further because it has probably a nice inlay, but I haven't done it so far. It says here, so let me show you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It says here, available for the first time on home video, Walt Disney's original mono soundtrack mix on the analog channels. And there's an enhanced stereo soundtrack mix on the digital track. So as we were talking just a little while ago about the different channels, you can access apparently the original mono from the very first cinematic release. And then it also includes, this is the CAV edition, so as we Laserdisc nerds know, it's just a 30 minutes per side with better quality. Each frame is included, so for animation nerds, you can access each of the 24 frames per second can be seen and studied. And it has some exclusive liner notes, including behind-the-scenes stories, production art, and rare photos from the Walt Disney Archives. So it's weird that the original owner didn't even open it, because now he's missing all these cool, sweet things. It also includes a few extras. No, it doesn't. That's weird. No, because the fourth side is just empty, which could have included stuff.
I think that's always so lame.
It's a waste of space. But it does. This is funny. It does include some trivia. So let's see, viewers. Do you know what Academy Award nomination? Yeah. Do you know what Academy Award nomination did The Sword in the Stone receive? I have no idea. Back then there was not a Best Animated Feature award. What British star narrated both The Sword in the Sword and Winnie the Pooh? No idea. I'm really feeling as a Disney fan. What did The Sword in the Stone's screenwriter base the character of Merlin on? No idea either. Damn. Discover the answers in the exclusive liner notes inside. Includes behind-the-scenes facts, historic photos, and rare production. It's really cool that they should include some trivia.
It's cool. I liked this movie as a kid.
Me too, and I haven't seen it for like 20 years.
No, I mean,
so I'm really, maybe we should check it together.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, guys, final thing. So it was only €5, which is a nice price because it's almost minty. So a few dented corners, but it's still minty. This is also, as you know, the CAV versions are the best Disney versions, so they're always a little more expensive, wanted. And the funny thing is, you can still see the original price in Belgium. It was 2,080 francs, which is more than 50 euro. And then we're talking, of course, 25 years ago.
And maybe this was already a discounted price.
No, I'm pretty sure this was an original price, but still, this is a 1994, I think, release. I mean, this is amazing. Inflation-wise, this is at least a 75 euro movie, so...
Nobody would buy that for...
Yeah, people are complaining nowadays, like, oh, a Blu-ray is 20 euro. How dare you ask me? This was 4 times as expensive, guys. I love it. I'm trying to have a complete collection of all the Disney classics on CAV, but it's... I only buy them when they're cheap. I mean, I don't want to spend a lot of...
And this guy, did you go to his house or...
No, he shipped it to me. And I think...
He's also a collector? Or?
I think he was a former collector. He was now... And did he have some more Disneys? I don't remember. No, I don't think he did. He had a few Disneys, but nothing of interest. Anyway, and so rounding this off, final, the 2 things from 2018 at least. So as you guys remember, I'm quite broke and I have some debts that I want to pay off before I buy stuff. Last time I was here, I showed you 2 vinyls I got from the Retro Day. But that was a little cheating because I didn't pay for them. I still had a coupon, and I still do like 2.50 euro from the same store. Now I spent the first real money from 2018. There was a record store day, as you know.
Yeah.
Of course, record store day is one of my favorite days in the year. So I said to myself, I can at least indulge once at the end of April. But then again, I could say to myself, let's not overdo it. There were years when I bought 7 discs, maybe 8 discs, because there's always a ton of things.
There's always cool stuff.
Always cool stuff. Even you bought it last year, the Doctor Who disc.
And another one.
What did you buy last year? There was something.
No, the other one wasn't in store. I wanted another one, like.
What was it? I don't remember.
An 80s band, like a cool release from an 80s band.
So this year, Fat Cat, my favorite record store from Antwerp, he always sends an email a few weeks in advance saying, "Guys, this is the full release list." Hey, you guys! This is the full release list. If there's anything you want, I can try to pre-order because, of course, you can't. You never know. And then I really said to myself, okay. I'm saving my money. What are the things I really, really need as a collector? Because there's always stuff that you really want, and there's superfluous stuff for when you have too much money. And there's a few things. If you really want it, you should buy it because you never get a second chance. I mean, record store day releases, they always go up in value the day after. If you want to buy them on Discogs or anywhere else or on eBay, it's at least twice.
My Doctor Who disc, I still got it like.
Yeah, but you can be lucky. Yeah. But let's say the wanted releases, they're always gone the first day. And then the prices skyrocket online. Like
from a very famous band or something.
For example. So, luckily in the end, I thought hard and long, and I ordered one thing. That's cool, one. And of course, what did I order? My favorite artist of all time, Bruce Springsteen.
Of course.
It's cool. It includes 4 new tracks that I didn't have on vinyl. I have this one on CD, of course. I have this one on cassette. I don't have the original vinyl. As a true nerd, I want the original, the 90s vinyl. This is the re-release, but there was still a redeeming reason to buy it. It comes on colored vinyl.
That's always nice.
Yes, and the original release was, of course, just in boring black. So this was €26. I know, expensive. 2 vinyls, but it's the only thing I bought on
it's okay. I could 2 vinyls.
Yeah. No, it's still too expensive. I mean, back in the day, it was just like maybe 18 on the original vinyl.
Yeah, but this 13 at least for like 600 francs for an album.
It's okay. And then this week I got something. So actually, just the second thing I bought this year.
It's cracking.
Cracking?
You're starting to buy.
We're almost half a year in 2018. This is cool. This is the Essential Buyer's Guide to the DeLorean. So, as you guys may or may not know, I'm planning to buy a DeLorean one day. And this is like a very authentic, thorough guide to owning or buying a DeLorean. So it's divided in chapters, and I'm just going to list a few. So, for example, is it the right car for you? Probably no. Cost considerations, living with a DeLorean. That's funny. It's like you living
your
with a DeLorean.
Your wife leaves you because you
choosing between your wife and your car. The value, the inspection of the equipment, the key points, the vital statistics. And then the very funny thing is, I haven't read it. It just arrived a few days ago. I was just thumbing through it, scrolling through it. But then at the end, I saw.
There are probably more books like this than there are DeLoreans.
Probably. Very funny. In the vital statistics, there's a very small thing called Back to the Future, which, of course, I expected to be mentioned. And it says, it's hard not to bring up the Back to the Future film franchise and its continuing influence on the DeLorean. Throughout this book, I've tried not to include many references to BTTF, simply because this book is designed to be a buyer's guide and not a history on the DeLorean car. However, there is no denying that the film franchise has helped to ensure the enduring popularity of the DMC-12, which is the official model name, bringing the appeal of the car to a new audience and ensuring that the timeless design of the DeLorean lives on to a new and younger audience. So probably even Hust, in the future,
will enjoy the DeLorean.
Will know about the DeLorean because his dad will show him the movies. And without the movies, the DeLorean would be long forgotten in time because it's just one model. How many car brands do just have one model? I mean, I think Tucker back in the day. You don't know the famous story? Tucker, the Man in His Ring. It's a very touching Francis Ford Coppola movie that flopped very hard, very very hard. But Tucker was a real guy in the 50s, I think, and it's really like an American dream. He wanted to make his own car, Tucker, the Tucker, and he was just boycotted to oblivion by General Motors because they didn't want
somebody else to start making cars.
And that's really sad because imagine if you're General Motors and you have like a 99% share of the market. Why can't you just allow one guy to make one model? One model.
If you allow one guy,
one model, Thomas, come on. No, I mean at least you should not destroy him. You should just let him be. You should just maybe ignore him.
Yeah, because he's not gonna make a dent in the.
That's what I mean. I mean, if you have a 99% ownership of the market, DeLorean as well. DeLorean was not boycotted, but they really tried to destroy him as well. I mean, in the end. His funds were so low that he had to resort to the mafia to help him out, and bada bing, bada boom. We like DeLorean, eh?
It's a nice car. They put a body in the back.
It's a nice car with a big trunk. Bada bing, bada boom. No. But it's in the end he had to resort to the mafia, and then he got in dire straits, and then he went all broke. And in fact, I read it once. That by the time Back to the Future came around, the car was no longer available. So the car was already vintage just 2 years after its release. No, it came out in 81, but it was produced until 83, and then 2 years later Back to the Future came out. But DeLorean was very, very, very pleased that this car got a reference in the movie. Of course, he couldn't know that it would become a classic. Back then it was just a movie. But still, he was so happy that this car got like a positive, non-laughing stock because it's really like a cool car. It's like a movie that makes
the car is cool in the movie.
It's cool in the movie. They don't laugh with it. They could have made it like, it's a crappy car. He even wrote a letter to Zemeckis thanking him for making his car iconic. So there's on the Blu-ray you can find the John DeLorean's letter. And
it's actually a shame that they didn't start reproducing them again.
He tried. He really tried. He even tried. He set up a factory in Ireland in the late 80s, but then by the time he tried, it was all a mafia story, and then he got swindling, and they closed him down. They destroyed him. Luckily, he lived on to be. I think he died in 2002, so he lived to be 80. And at least he experienced the massive success of the Back to the Future movie. So he saw his car become truly an icon of, and you could even say that it's much more iconic than a lot of General Motors cars because who knows? There's so many brands or so many models, but we don't know them by heart. And the DeLorean is an iconic movie car.
Have you seen the Angry Video Game Nerd movie?
No, I haven't. But
there is also a DeLorean in it.
Oh, cool!
And it's actually George R.R. Martin's DeLorean.
No.
And he actually plays him in the movie because he was like
George R. R. Martin, the Game of Thrones creator. Oh, cool. That I didn't know.
Wait, I think I'm correct.
Maybe it was J.R.R. Tolkien. Back from the dead.
No, it's for sure a movie. But I'm not doubting.
It's a movie.
I will show a clip from the movie in which George R.R. Martin's DeLorean is featured.
And I didn't know he had a DeLorean.
Yeah.
Have you seen there's a new...
like a zombie movie also.
There was a new movie out this year, a Ready Player One, a Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
I saw it, I liked it. A lot of people...
I liked it too.
Yeah.
I went to see it because of the DeLorean, of course. And the cool thing is that the author, Ernest Cline, he's a bit controversial because he has a few weird opinions about women and how to treat them. Yeah, it's just weird in these days, and always, of course. But the guy, when he sold his script for the Ready Player One book, just for the book, when he sold his book, he, from the advance, because in America you can get very rich from just an advance, he bought his DeLorean. And Spielberg signed the disc, and not the disc, how do you call it, where you put your gloves, the glove compartment? And Spielberg signed it, and then Ernest said, I have the only DeLorean in the world signed by Steven Spielberg, who, of course, had a big hand in making the car an iconic car.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that concludes our pickups. So this is just a small DeLorean. How much was it? It was £13, which is expensive, but
which is quite expensive for a small DeLorean.
I just wanted to look at the dollar price, $25. That's like the worst exchange rate ever.
Yeah, and for $25 for a book like this,
yeah, you can buy a DeLorean for that money. No, you can't. But
there was probably a time you could. Maybe like in the early
not
90s?
25, maybe
no,
2,500.
Yeah, like something like that. Like
nowadays it's almost $30,000. So it's
how many were made? Do you know?
Around no, I don't know the exact number, but around 4,500. And right now there's still 2,500 active.
And they will
on the markets
because they start making replacement parts.
Luckily they do, and they even made new DeLoreans. So there's an electric alternative right now. So there's like a new DeLorean with spare parts. They're super expensive, but they are new, and they're of course a lot better because the original DeLorean has a bad reputation of reliability. There are new DeLoreans available with an electric motor, and I think they start at $45,000. So gotta save some money for that. Yeah. But luckily, when you guys subscribe, you'll be rich, and then Thomas will keep it all, and I don't get a thing.
Also, I don't have like monetized activated, so
damn.
Probably won't get rich from it.
See you guys in the future, and now we are going to hug Hust.
No, we'll just let him sleep.
Yes. Bye guys. See you next time.